you, sir. Thank you so much. And I heartily congratulate all of you for organizing this conference, because to organize a conference which is based on the spiritual values of the Bhagavad Gita is the need of the hour. So all of us have four tendencies: tendency to consume, tendency to control, tendency to convince, and tendency to compete. So Bhagavad Gita specifically arrests all of these four tendencies and helps us to control our own selves, because the basic concept of management is about control. But right now, all our technology institutions and all education institutions are simply focused on teaching people how to control the outside environment, how to control technologies and machines and systems, but they're not teaching how to control your own selves. So therefore, current challenges in organizations dealing in capacity building is inadequate devolution of funds, functions, and functionaries. And they have limited capacity building for executing local governance. And the weaknesses in decentralized integrated planning limiting the scope for determining and addressing local priorities. So we find that India has currently 650,000 villages. We have 800 million people of India in villages, 500 million in cities. But the distribution of economy and distribution of facilities is not at all equitable. And practically, there is a large concentration of people who are wanting to migrate to the cities. And therefore, if we want that, we want the entire nation to be integrated on the basis of sustainability, then we thought, let us create a model which is based on the principle of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says that Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayu Kham Mano Buddhirevacha Ahankara Itiyam Me Bhinna Prakritirashtada. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. These are the 5 different elements. And therefore, we have to create an economy which is based on sustaining all of this. So there is a need to strengthen the institutional support framework, because policy advocacy support for local governance is weak. Capacity building for local governance evolving, but requires structural changes. Okay, just like for a district like Palghar where we are functioning, I'll give you an example. In the entire district, there is only one technician who deals with medical equipments for a population of 30 lakhs. So just imagine if there is somebody seriously ill, how do you deal with that situation if that medical technician is on leave? Information and knowledge management support needs considerable strengthening. And research activities and local government activities in the rural segment issues need focused thrust. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that Tribidam Narakasyedam Dwaram Nashanam Atmana Kamam Krodham Tata Lobham Tasmat Etatrayam Tajit. Just like Ayurvedic doctors decide the physical health of the body based on Kapha, Vata, and Pitta balance, those who are Vedic psychologists, they understand that ultimately the mind, the soul, needs to be balanced on the basis of Kama, Krodha, and Lobha has to be balanced. So Govardhan Ecovillage resonates a symbiosis of spirituality, sustainability, and social inclusion. And we have researchers and eminent academicians. So what you see behind is the Sahyadri mountain ranges. And this is one of the small glimpses of one area of the 100 acres we have. So we are in a tribal location. And the idea was that ISKCON was already quite prominent in cities across the world. We are present in more than 700 temples across the world. But our presence in rural India was not so prominent. And therefore, we realized that if we have to transform India sustainably, then we have to transform and create impact in rural India. Just for your information, 4% of the corporate jobs, for 4% of the jobs of the 600 million skilled force in India is in the organized formal corporate sector. 3% is in the formal government sector. 93% are in the unorganized sector. Only 1% of India has traveled in airplanes. So people are out of touch with reality and do not realize that to change India, you have to change rural India. But you have to change rural India, not just economically, but spiritually first, then sustainably, and then social inclusion will follow through. And therefore, Our vision is to facilitate self-development, organizational development, and rural development through conscious leadership principles, to catalyze innovative ideas and approaches in India and globally towards rural communities. And therefore, we want to impart the key values of commitment, awareness, infusion of scientific temper and accountability, and to accelerate organizational efficiency through a series of battle-tested knowledge. So Govardhan Ecovillage is committed to focus upon as a center of excellence in various areas. We are actually having a multi-pronged approach dealing with women village empowerment, the public-private partnership mode with reputed state and national institution, and existing structure is towards more capacity building mode and not traditional service mode, in the sense that we provide the training, we provide the infrastructure to have people coming here and learn courses, and you learn from us. We have the hub and spoke model. Govardhan Ecovillage is the hub, but the entire Palghar district is the spoke. And therefore, the management components of a center of excellence is the master lead, and along with all these other dependent contingencies. But the key features is focus on attracting and retaining the best training facility, which means first, autonomy, quality of outputs, promotion of India's heritage and wisdom, strong knowledge management system, strong communication strategies, and strong leadership. These will be the key features. These are the key features of Govardhan Ecovillage. So we have the following 4 departments: health, hunger and nutrition, education, research and training, sustainability and conservation, tribal development and animal care. And the components of circular economy are very much embedded here, which begins with sustainable and self-sufficient living, plastic and water recycling and management, energy conservation, use of renewable energy resources, natural farming, sustainable agriculture, improvement of health and nutrition, cultural, social and spiritual development. So at a glance, this is what we have created at Govardhan Ecovillage already. We begin with Govardhan Annakshetra, which is, I will go through all of these, so you will get to know about it as I go through the details. Okay, so we have sustainability. So overall, this is what it looks like. Hunger Institute, then we have health and hygiene, Center for Natural Farming, Center for Renewable Resources, Eco-Spiritual Tourism, School of Yoga and Ayurveda, Center for Rural Development, Tribal Care, Animal Care, Bhaktivedanta Kaushal Vikas Kendra is a skill development center for the tribal youth. We have a Gurukul for training traditional spirituality to small children. We have a Bhaktivedanta Research Center giving MA and PhD in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavad Puran and other literatures affiliated to Mumbai University. Then we have a training institute also, where we are training in sustainability leadership, public leadership, and innovation and entrepreneurship. What is sustainability and resource conservation consisting of? Center for Renewable Resources, Alternative Energy, Solar and Biogas. For spiritual and ecotourism is Govardhan School of Yoga and Ayurveda. Center for Natural Farming is School of Sustainability. So in the Center for Renewable Resources and Biodiversity, we have biogas energy, because we have Goshala with almost 100 cows and bulls. And so that cow dung and cow urine is used for creating biogas energy. We also have solar energy, where up to 20% of Govardhan Ecovillage runs on solar, and remaining we are expected to grow to full self-sufficiency in the near future. There is animal-driven prime mover, where we have the bull-driven system by which water is brought out. And we are also using sprinkler irrigation and flour mill and oil expeller. We are training people from all over the world how to make these bricks, eco-friendly construction, compressed stabilized earth blocks, which compared to a regular brick wall of 72 megajoules per kilogram, it uses only 0.275 megajoules per kilogram of energy, thus saving huge embodied energy. These are the eco bricks, compressed stabilized earth blocks, and pyrolysis plant we have, which is converting plastic into diesel. The auditoriums are soundproof and the greenhouses are well insulated due to design and materials. So what you see here in front of you is a beautiful, completely green sewage treatment plant called soil biotechnology plant. So we have a gravity driven sewerage system, which brings all the black and gray water to a collection tank, Then using a simple pump, electric pump, all the sewage is pushed on top of this, what you see as the papaya trees. And the roots of many of these trees have a very, very excellent quality of bacteria. Soil bacteria are created. Then we have also geophagous earthworms and bioreactors. And a combination of these actually helps us generate 40 million liters of water, of fish fit water every single year. So many times people feel rural area, a lot of area is there, a lot of land is there, just throw the sewage water, what difference it makes. But what happens is it pollutes the aquifers, it pollutes the groundwater, it pollutes existing water resources by the connection through the aquifers. We also have what is known as the largest rainwater collection harvesting tank in the whole of Palghar district. It catches 10 million liters of water. This was done after performing the hydrogeological survey through Aqua Dam, and then based on that we have created this. The rainwater hits the Sayadri mountain and then it is collected here. So this is the symbiotic recycling model, where the cow gives the dung, from the dung does farming, from the farming comes the food, from the food we have biogas to have the fire to cook the food. The black and gray water which comes out is going into the SBT, and from the SBT the water recycled and goes back into irrigation. So you see that every output here in our ecosystem is an input for the next system. We call it symbiotic recycling model. But all of this is centered around the consciousness of Vrindavan Dham, where we have a beautiful Krishna temple and a replica of Madan Mohan temple also. Along with spirituality or wisdom, we have also what is known as yoga. We have an excellent Govardhan school of yoga, which is based on the principles of Patanjali Yoga Sutra and the Bhagavad Gita. And in 28 days course, you will understand the complete Bhagavad Gita along with also all the different asanas. Also, we have various customized courses for various ailments. We want to share with people the power of Indian traditional yoga systems. Apart from yoga, the other authentic Indian Vedic tradition of knowledge is the Ayurveda, where we have disease management, anti-stress, rejuvenation, and detoxification. So Govardhan Ayurveda provides all kinds of 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, 28 days Ayurveda. We have Center for Natural Farming, where with cow dung and cow urine, we create our own fertilizers and pesticides. We actually have patented this process also. We also have preserved more than 55 varieties of rice seeds, which are native to India. We are also teaching farmers in 75 villages how to do organic farming, which has raised their income from 8,000 rupees per annum to almost 200,000 rupees per annum, and also taught them how to do composting and mulching. And we also have a beautiful rainfall prediction technique, where on Akshaya Tritiya every year, based on certain guidelines given in Parashar Samhita, we predict what will be the kind of rainfall during this year. Also, we have multi-layer and multi-crop farming in the same farmland in order to make sure that monocropping does not destroy the overall natural ambience in which the microorganisms grow. Part of Govardhan Ecovillage experience is the cuisine. We have a pure sattvic vegetarian cuisine, which is free from any kinds of tamasic influence. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that ultimately the food is in the 3 modes of nature. But Krishna very specifically mentions that food in the mode of goodness actually clarifies the mental clog, makes the mind serene and still. And therefore 300 million people across the world are suffering mental ailments and depression. And we have to look also at food as one of the sources of relief from this. So we have Health, Hunger and Nutrition Institute, where we are Govardhan Annakshetra, where we are distributing free food and creating Hunger-Free Palghar, Hunger Research Institute, and Center for Health and Hygiene. So balanced organic dietary diversity in men and women is key to fight all forms of malnutrition. So when we are distributing food, we are creating Hunger-Free Palghar. We served more than 200,000 meals, and we plan to serve now, actually 21-22, we plan to serve almost 1.5 million meals. Govardhan Nakshetra mitigates hunger and malnutrition, provides nutritious food to the body, mind, and soul. And as you can see, we are impacting lots of village people to improve their child education and also adult education. We also have an India International Institute for Hunger, Nutrition, and Agriculture at GV, so that we can end all forms of malnutrition. As you know, that people are eating, but only eating carbohydrates, and so there is double burden created. So we want to maintain the genetic diversity in food production and invest in rural infrastructure, agriculture research, technology, and gene banks. And in this way, we want to create stable food commodity markets. So we have our own brand known as Haribol, where we have dairy products and food products being sold currently in Mumbai, but now we are diversifying all over India and gradually will come all over the world. Center for Health and Hygiene in rural health. We conduct community health camps with specialist palliative care, and we have conducted more than 2,500 camps and more than 100,000 treatments. As far as education, it's one of the large segments we have. And in this, we have Govardhan Gurukul, where we conduct science talent search in 54 school science camps. So generally speaking, children need mentoring, assistance. You'll be shocked to know that out of 100 people who enter into the kindergarten in India, only 12 people enter into college. There is 88% dropout rate. And therefore, we provide that hand-holding as far as academic courses, vocational skills, along with spiritual and physical education. And then we also help people get confidence in their local culture and not feel embarrassed that they are from a village. And we teach them value education, shloka recitation, all kinds of musical instruments. We help them understand what's the meaning behind the scriptures and what's the meaning of the Bhagavad Gita. And so the deity worship, singing, dancing is all part of it. We also help them train in various traditional arts and culture. This is a skill development center where 9th standard failed students are taken into computer training, healthcare at home, energy environment, mechanical technology, life skills, case studies. All this is provided only within 1 year so that they can choose what they feel best and become entrepreneurs themselves. Bhaktivedanta Research Center, it's basically residential master's diploma up to 2 years. Also, we have various courses where we give to popularize Krishna conscious philosophy among masses. You may find that Indian intellectuals, the students, the top students of India typically go for technology courses, medical courses, chartered accountancy courses, professional courses. Humanities studies is ranked very low amongst choices, whereas ISKCON and spiritual organizations are attracting a lot of high quality, high IQ talent into their fold. So we want to provide them facility by which they can also connect with humanities based on ancient tradition and knowledge. And therefore, by customizing MA and PhD, which can be done from you by you staying at home, that's something which is very, very friendly. So we also have monks teaching in such sessions, and I have represented various conferences as part of, Govardhan Ecovillage across the world, including United Nations Environment Program, United Nations Economic and Social Council, United Nations Committee for Combating Desertification, United Nations, Biodiversity Council, and United Nations World Tourism Organization. So in this way, we have all these things which are equipped so that all kinds of activities can be done. As far as rural development, we have taken more than 1,300 farmers adopted and more than right now 10,000 farmers trained. Plant nursery, we have more than 500 varieties. We also have a livestock where we protect the cows, and Haribol is a product based out of the byproducts of the Govardhan Goshala. We have won more than 36 awards across the world, including the World Travel Mart WTM latest Gold and Global Award for decarbonizing global travel under World Responsible Tourism Awards. So I'm very grateful to the organizers for giving me an opportunity to share something about the Govardhan Ecovillage. May I request Dr. Datta to, or the organizer, whoever they are, to first show the 1-minute video and then the 7-minute video so that my presentation time would be completed.
Bonia, can you just share the video, please?
Yeah, first 1-minute video and then the 7-minute video. And I see my friend Dr. Srini, Director of Bajaj, Jamnalal Bajaj, right there. Pranam, nice seeing you, sir.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Gauranga Das and Professor. He's since morning. Okay, this is the video.
Yeah, that's right.
Illiteracy, malnutrition, and lack of infrastructure. This is the story of Wada, one of India's most backward tribal areas. However, since 2010, ecotourism has become a lifeline for this region. Govardhan Ecovillage's sustainable development model, which is based on harmony with the self, the environment, and the divine, has helped employ over 300 tribal families. More than 60,000 tribals have been provided free medical care.
मोतीबिंदूचं ऑपरेशन झालं मला आता चांगलं दिसतं
30,000 free meals are provided to school children every day.
मुलं स्वतःहून शाळेत यायला तयार होतात.
Over 60 bore wells have been installed.
पाण्याच्या सर्व अडचणी दूर झाल्या.
More than 300 families received training in organic farming.
आता पैसे येतात आणि बचत पण होते.
Govardhan Ecovillage has transformed the lives of the most deprived communities in the world.
Thank you. Can we have a second video?
Second one, Bonia.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Govardhan Ecovillage is about 2.5 hours northeast of Mumbai in a very beautiful rural village area of Maharashtra. There's a very holy place in India which is considered most sacred to devotees of Krishna. It's called Vrindavan. And in that Vrindavan is a mountain named Govardhan, which represents environmental, ecological harmony with spiritual principles.
This place is very special. Certainly, it's unique in India and perhaps unique in the whole world. It's like a retreat center. It's like a spa. It's like an ashram. It's a place that's designed as an experiment to merge environmentalism, animal rights, and bhakti, spirituality, together, and it's working.
Come dance with me.
The amenities here are of a whole nother caliber. People, when they think of the words India and ashram, they think of harsh and rough living. From the Ayurvedic clinic, which not only gives treatments, but also has an Ayurvedic doctor who helps prescribe something that is specific for your dosha. The atmosphere that is created by the founder, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and the atmosphere that is created by the devotees who work here is palpable. You can feel it in the air.
Originally, I was from Chicago. When I was 19 years old in 1970, I wanted to try to broaden my outlook of life. So I went on a journey. Ultimately, I hitchhiked from London to the Himalayas in India. And as I was traveling, I came to realize that the real social and environmental problems of the world are due to a spiritual crisis. A crisis in what we consider is actually meaningful and fulfilling in our life.
Radhanath Swami is a passionate person. The best passion is compassion, and he has an ample amount of that. And that type of passion is contagious.
Coming here and helping to, doing the seva, the service, helping with the cows, helping with to weave mats, helping with make pottery. It's actually fun. It's very simple lifestyle, and I think a lot of us crave that on different levels.
And it's sort of programmed into our culture that you look for recognition. You need it. For me, being here, I see it's far more powerful to be humble.
It was easy to complain about the tiny inconveniences that come with a New York City apartment. Oh, it's not big enough. Oh, the water pressure isn't great enough. When you live in a house that you see built from the ground up, every step along the way, it's very special.
When people come here, we're trying to inspire an educational, experiential alternative of a fulfilling, meaningful, sustainable, healthy life.
apart from these jasmine flowers which you're seeing, he grows a lot of these ladyfingers, okra. Yeah. So we network with all these farmers so that we purchase them in our kitchen and use them.
Can we get this to the kitchen? We can give them to the, yeah.
And the inspiration of this project, Srila Prabhupada, he called this transformation simple living and high thinking.
We get 3,000 millimeters of rain annually. So the rainwater hits against those mountains, the Sahyadri mountain ranges, and flows down and collects here. And it is sufficient water for us to irrigate our fields for up to 6 to 7 months every year. The majority of India's population, which is 1.2 billion, lives in the villages. So one of the very important requirements to develop a village is how can water be conserved.
The process begins here. As you can see, the raw sewage is falling and there are some screens. The first chamber is called screen chamber, where we are trying to separate floating solids. This is the raw water where we began, and this is the treated water.
The uniqueness of this place comes from the fact that every waste is becoming a precious resource. That cow dung becomes a fertilizer for earth. He needs fire or energy for cooking his food, and therefore all of the cow dung we utilize for biogas plant. So we need to make houses, so we use the same earth, and we have created 250,000 bricks. We call this a symbiotic recycling model. Flushing your toilet, you are contributing to the growth of a papaya. You are contributing to the growth of flowers.
One of the greatest management gurus says that the greatest management challenge of the 21st century is managing oneself.
Many corporate heads are having seminars and retreats here. And they also see alternative ways by which they could focus their own corporations and feel a real sense of responsibility to humanity.
The thing I'm most compelled to do when I get home is really a seva. It's service. It gets us out of being so self-absorbed.
I always had too much. And now I want to have real simple life, like here. I love simple life, and my goal is to make a simple life in my home.
And if we just refocus our energies with these values, we could transform the world.
Every step that I take, you dance for me, dance for me.
It's truly a miraculous, magical place on this planet.
What is a
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. What a great, a short video, but very powerful, very strong image, powerful image. What a great spirituality. I feel that, felt that this only 10 minutes and what you have explained today, it has a great and profound impact on all of us. What a great place of tranquility, peace, and harmony you have created. It reminds me the word as it stated, simple life, but high thinking. It reminds me to go back to 1973, Joseph Schumpeter, when he said, the simplicity is the best. Even Mahatma Gandhi said several times. And this is the simple and most harmonic, most peaceful, the place. And I feel that this few minutes change the entire, how I can say, the outlook. It's really, I salute you. Your contribution, your legacy will make change. It's bound to make change for the millions. I think that is a great testimony for the whole human civilizations. What a great minds can do something. We have the huge strength. Sir Prabhuji, my special namaskar.